hop into today's video, I just wanted to show you all these new beautiful prescription glasses that I just received from VOOGLAM. They are so chic, so cute, and when I tell you I have never had any glasses like these, so I really just have to show you all these new frames. The first pair of glasses that I received from VOOGLAM are the Santa. I got them in the red and black and white animal print. I absolutely love these frames. Now, I don't normally get bright colored frames, but I feel like this red really complements my skin tone, and just the splash of animal print makes them really unique. I feel like these frames are really giving like a professional look, but also a very unique look. I feel like I would be able to wear these to work, or I would be able to wear these on the weekend with a really nice outfit for a nice pop of color, and I feel like they just stand out so much. I really love these. The next pair that I received are the Zamudio. Now these have to be my favorite out of the bunch. The brown tan color, if you watch my channel, then you know I love nudes and earth tones, and I feel like the color detail with the green and the black on the side just adds that little extra pizzazz. I feel like I really have loved these for everyday wear. I've been wearing them for the past week, and I've been able to wear them in chill settings and when I got dressed up, and I get so many compliments on them. I love the shape of the frames. I feel like it complements my face shape very well, and they're just really unique. The next pair of glasses that I received are the Petrie, and these are the green and the black and white animal print. I feel like these are very classy. They give a nice classic look with a nice thinner rectangular frame. I feel like these with the cat eye on the side, they are definitely very spicy. Again, you can definitely wear these professionally, or you can just wear them on a girl's day out. They're definitely giving I'm going to brunch and I'm trying to make a statement. I also received the Petrie in black and white, and I feel like if you love the shape but you're not too much of a color girl, I feel like these are perfect for you. Like I said, I don't normally get colored glasses, so I probably would have went for something like this. But if you are, not too much into color, or you just want something that can match your everyday look, you can definitely go for these. I love the shape, and I love the placement of the white and the black. I feel like you stand out without doing too much, so if you do want to tone it down from the color, this is definitely a good choice. The next pair of glasses that I received are the Declan. Now these are all black with gold detail. Now if you definitely want to tone it down, these are your everyday wear. When I tell you these black frames, it just makes you look so studious, make you look very professional. Definitely complements every face shape. I really love the shape of these glasses. I really love these. These can also be for everyday wear, like I said, just because they're all black, but I love the pop of gold. It just makes them look very classy and very chic. Now these last pair that I received are the Marguerite. Now again, if you want a little bit of color but maybe not too much, like I said, if you're not like a super color girl but you do want to change it up a little bit, these black frames with this little splash of purple is perfect for, I'm going for something different but I don't want to stand out too much. They have the purple detailing on the side to match the bottom of the frame. I really love these. They are very different. I definitely would not have picked these out on my own, but I am so glad that I did because they looked so good on me. These are really nice as well. I will have all of these glasses linked down in the description box below. And I will have their website in case you would like to try and check out any of the other beautiful frames that they have to offer. At checkout, use the code KEE for 15% off of your entire order. And thank you so much to VOOGLAM for sponsoring today's video. Beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel, Simply Kee Samone. If you are new here, I want to say welcome. And if you're returning, I want to say welcome back. Here on my channel, I make videos all about love, locks, and lifestyle. So if that interests you, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Do not forget to leave me a comment down below, and also do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your post bell notifications so that you'll be updated every time I post a new video. And also do not forget to follow me on Instagram at _Kee Samone. That is where I am posting daily on my Instagram story and on my Instagram feed. So you'll get to see a little bit more of me and what I do not post here on YouTube. Okay, so hopping right into today's video, I wanted to come and talk to you all about all the different types of locks. I know that right now it is very trendy or trending, I guess, to start a lock journey. But I know there's also a lot of people that want to start lock journeys for, you know, personal reasons, you know, self-image, self-love, a spiritual journey, or they just really enjoy the look of locks, or you know, just want to experiment with their hair. And a lot of people are only seeing, I guess, a certain type of locks and not really seeing like the full retrospect, because there are so many different forms of locks, so many different ways that you can start your locks. So it could be confusing in the beginning, because you may see, you know, locks that you think are beautiful, but you don't really know if they are right for you, if they're, you know, gonna look right on you, or if, you know, that method is gonna work well for your hair texture. So I just wanted to share some of them with you here today. Now, in my last video, I was sipping wine. This afternoon, I'm sipping some kombucha. This is the Synergy raw kombucha. This is the Guava Goddess. This is one of my absolute favorite flavors. So we gonna be sipping on that during this video. So okay, so hopping right in, I wanted to start with the first form, which is comb coils. If you are not new to my channel, then you will know that I have started my locks with comb coils. Those are the type of locks that I chose for my hair texture. You don't really see them today because they're wrapped up. I'm ashamed to say it's been about, I want to say we pushing 9 weeks on the retwist, but don't you worry, because I am doing my hair this week and I will also be filming that. I have a little I'm not going to give it away, but just stay tuned for me this upcoming week of me styling my hair. But anywho, I did start my locks with comb coils. Comb coils are started by using exactly what it sounds like, a coil. So yourself or a loctician would use a rat tail comb or some sort of small comb to part your hair and to form it into a coil, essentially. So those coils would stay in your hair. You don't have to, you know, do too much manipulating to coils besides for maintenance, and that's definitely depending on your hair texture. One thing that I will say, because I can, you know, personally, you know, comment on this because I've experienced it myself, was comb coils is a lot of maintenance. Definitely, and this is dependent on your hair texture, but for me, comb coils was a lot of maintenance in the beginning. Comb coils tend to unravel easier. Comb coils tend to get a lot more frizzier, and comb coils definitely tend to marry and mat a lot more easily from what I've seen with other methods in starting your locks. So I would say if you have like a super curly and naturally already coily texture, coils will be perfect for you. But if you are like me and you are closer to, I guess, you know, more of the end of the hair texture spectrum, as far as like, you know, 3C 4A type hair, then it may be, you know, a little bit of a struggle. Like I said, it will be a lot more maintenance. But in the end, if you want like a super cylinder, more uniform shape, then I highly suggest coils. Now, you cannot just go, and this is for every lock style. You cannot expect for someone to start their locks with coils and you start yours with coils and they turn out the exact same. But in hindsight, in general, you know, generally you will see that your locks will be very, very uniformed and more of a cylinder shape, and that also goes into maintenance and things like that, making sure that you keep that shape. But yes, so the first style is comb coils, and that is what I personally started off with. Okay, so the second way or form that you can start your locks is 2-strand twists. Now, I definitely contemplated using that method, 2-strand twist, when I first started, but I felt like because of the texture of my hair that coils would hold a little bit better. So 2-strand twist is exactly what it sounds like. You would just get your hair parted, whatever parting system that you would like, and you would 2-strand twist your hair. Now, you keep these 2-strand twists in. You don't really, I wouldn't say that you don't have to do much maintenance, because the 2-strand twist is kind of easier to stay together. As I mentioned, the coils are a lot more maintenance because they will more easily come unraveled. So the 2-strand twist definitely would take away just a little bit of that maintenance, as far as, you know, keeping them together, making sure they're not coming unraveled, because when you have 2-strand twists and you have product in your hair, you know, 9 times out of 10, once they dry, they're gonna stay 2-strand twists. They're just gonna stay. So if you want more of a, I guess, a medium size to thicker lock, and that you don't mind the 2-strand twist texture for a while, because with starting your hair with 2-strand twist, you will see that 2-strand twist texture for a good little bit. From what I have seen, and from other women or men who have started their 2-strand twist, you could definitely tell that they started with 2-strand twists. You could definitely see that texture for a while, but this will go away with time when you are maintaining your locks, i.e. palm rolling or interlocking, or whatever method you choose to maintain your locks. But 2-strand twists is the second method. The third method that you can use is sister locks or micro locks. Now, to be honest, this technique never ever really crossed my mind, because I felt like it would just be so much more maintenance all around. But now, having been in the lock community and been doing, you know, more research, and also talking to other people who have sister locks or micro locks, it actually is a lot less maintenance, and I'm going to tell you why. You do not have to get your hair retightened as much. As soon as you start your sister locks, they're already in place, if you will. Like, they're definitely not formed into a lock just yet, because it does take time in order for your hair to, you know, mat and become actually locked. But you will not have to worry about too much maintenance, definitely in the beginning or throughout. But those times when it is time for maintenance and it's time to get your locks tightened, it definitely will be really time consuming. But I feel like it would be beneficial, or, you know, it's easier to say, you know what, it's okay that I have to take upwards of 5 or 6 hours to maintain this, because you're probably only doing it like 3 or 4 times a year, versus having any type of other traditional lock where you are retwisting your hair every 6 to 8 weeks. So you see your pros and your cons. Like, it's gonna take a long time, but you're not gonna be doing it that often. I would suggest, or from what I have seen, people with a more I guess thicker, more like super tight coily texture of hair has been the ones that I have seen that have flourished more with sister locks. I feel like it's very easy to start off. I feel as though if you have more of a finer texture, or like a very loose curl pattern, that you will be experiencing a lot of a lot of frizziness, and it might just be like a little bit too to have a lot of frizziness. And also, if you have fine hair, I've heard some people say that they feel like that they look bald. I personally, I wouldn't say that you look bald, but if you do have a finer texture of hair and you're not more on the 4C, you know, spectrum, that your hair is going to look very, very thin. It's going to be very, very scalpy. And not to say that that is not going to change over time, but that's definitely something that you do want to keep in mind when you want to start sister locks, because we see all these women with like waist length, you know, bra strap length sister locks and micro locks, and they look absolutely gorgeous. But I promise you that they were not always that full, and you will have to go through that point in time where your hair looks very very sparse or very thin for a while. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the third method that I want to touch on is instant locks. Now I feel like I can couple form 4 and 5 together, which 4 being, like I just said, instant locks, and 5 being lock extensions. Now I have talked to people and like seen on social media, like there's a confusion, like people that don't have locks already, I feel like they definitely get confused when it comes to instant locks and lock extensions. So instant locks is your hair, all your natural hair. What you or a loctician will do is part your hair and form your hair into, you know, whatever shape it is, and basically take a crochet needle or some other type of tool to manually mat the hair into a lock, essentially. So you are going to skip that entire phase of, you know, starter lock phase. You know, I don't like the U word. Y'all know what the U word is, so I'm not even gonna say it because I don't believe in that. That's baby lock phase, starter lock phase. You will essentially skip that entire step. Now, I know a lot of people, like I said in the beginning of this video, that it's been very, you know, trendy and, you know, become more popular for people to get locks. And I know that they just want to get to that end goal a lot sooner. So they do opt for this, especially if they don't want to go the lock extension route, because they still want to use their own hair, but they do not want to go through that whole phase of, you know, oh, you know, my hair is, you know, frizzy, it's getting crazy, and all the other things that comes with not getting instant locks. The matting, the marrying of the locks, all of that. You will not have to go through that. What you will have to go through is still some shrinkage, because you have to remember that your lock is still, or that your hair still has to form into a lock. So even though your hair does get manually matted together with some sort of styling tool, you will most definitely still see shrinkage, because as your hair starts to mat together, it definitely still will draw up. So definitely expect shrinkage still, and definitely still expect some form of frizz along with that, because as your hair is matting, you know, pieces are gonna start to come loose or go this way or go that way. So definitely make sure to keep that in mind. Now, method number 5 is lock extensions. And like I said, I've seen a lot of people get those two confused. So lock extensions is actually having a loctician or you yourself creating each lock prior to actually locking your hair, if that makes sense. So you're gonna use some type of form of Marley hair or human hair that is very kinky, and you will use that same method that was used for the instant locks, which is using a crochet needle or some other type of tool to be able to mat that hair together, palm roll it, and then voila, you have a lock right there in your hand. And then however many locks that you want, or you know, however you want your parting system, that will depend on how many locks you would create, and then your hair would then get parted into whatever parting system that you want, and then you will attach those locks to your natural hair. Now, like I said, I started my locks with comb coils, so I don't really have much experience. I can only go off of, you know, conversations that I've had with people and the research that I've had, videos I've watched, etc., etc. But what I will say, in my personal opinion, I do feel like over time your hair could possibly get damaged, especially if you don't, you know, go to a loctician, or if you do them yourself and you're not really knowing what you're doing, because by adding an extension to your hair, it's going to add a lot more weight. And what I have seen is people having super thin roots and having a heavy lock extension on the end. As your hair mats and locks into the lock extension, it's going to create a lot of tension, especially if you, like I said, if you don't go to a loctician that knows what they're doing, who has experience in lock extensions. You may end up with lock extensions that may be too thick or too heavy for your specific hair texture. You have to keep and think and take into account your hair texture. So you're taking a completely different texture of hair than what is natural for you and what's naturally growing out of your scalp, and you're adding it to your hair. This can definitely cause tension and breakage if not done correctly. So if you do want to go ahead and literally skip every single phase, starter phase, you know, the budding, everything, you want the length, you want all that stuff like yesterday, please, please, please do your research. Do not just go hopping into anyone's chair, because the worst thing that you might experience is just having to start all over altogether, or cut them or get them, mended in some way. So you definitely want to avoid that. So please be sure to keep that in mind. Okay, so lock form 6 and 7. So I'm saying these together as well because I don't want to say they kind of go hand in hand, but I feel like some people get these, they're interchangeable to some people, but they are completely different sets of locks. So number 6 is freeform locks. So freeform locks, those locks are started by literally just letting your hair do what it's going to do naturally. You really don't have to do much. Having freeform locks, you're not really going to have a solid parting system. I feel like you could, if you wanted to, have like a solid parting system if you want, but then it's kind of not really like freeform. If everything is like neat and unique, that's kind of like the essence of freeform, if you will. But freeform locks, you're literally just letting your hair do what it does. I'm not sure if this will, I'm pretty sure it does take a little bit, I wouldn't say take a little bit longer, because your hair is gonna mat on its own eventually. But you will definitely have to make sure that you take the time to separate your hair, because a lot of your hair is going to be marrying. Like I said, if you don't have a set parting system or a set way that you are maintaining your locks, or how you started your locks, your hair is just going to start to marry together. So if you do want to have like a certain amount of freeform locks, it's definitely going to take a lot of time and effort to make sure that in those beginning stages that everything is not just matting together. Which leads me to my 7th method, which is wicks, or which are wicks. So wicks are, I believe they're still like a type of freeform lock, but with shape. So with your freeform locks, they could be all different shapes and sizes, but with your wicks, they are one continuous joined shape, but they are one, each lock or each wick is a pretty much just a giant, huge lock of matted hair. So if you are starting with freeform locks and you don't really maintain them, in a sense that, once they get established, that they will definitively and it's obvious that they are freeform locks, then you could possibly end up with wicks. And I honestly think they're dope. I've seen them in all different shapes and sizes. I've seen people with wicks and they only have 4 wicks in their head, and I've seen people with wicks and they have maybe 20 wicks in their hair. So it kind of all just depends on the look that you're going for. To me, this is semi freeform, because like I said, you are having bigger sections of hair that are matted together into locks, and you just kind of shape them in which way you want to. I've even seen videos on Instagram where there are people that have locks, or people that have wicks, and maybe they started with like 20 wicks, and then they go to their loctician and then they walk out with like 5 wicks, and completely transform their look, completely transform their style. And I have also seen people do the complete opposite, where they have maybe a few wicks, 4 or 5 wicks, and their loctician was able to separate them and make them into smaller sections. And maybe you could start a freeform lock journey, or maybe even take it way back. Now, if you have the time to, and your loctician has the time to, take it way back and then just give you individual locks all together. So those were the 7 methods that I am aware that you are able to start your lock journey. I believe that all of them are beautiful in their own way. I feel like you definitely want to make sure that you do your research with each method, and just to make sure that it's gonna, you know, benefit you the most and your hair texture and the end goal of what you really want to, you know, look like, and how you really want your locks to start forming. One thing I will say is, do not compare, you know, your lock journey with any of these methods into anyone else's lock journey, because my comb coils, you know, 5 years from now are not going to look like somebody else's comb coils 5 years from now. You know, someone else's sister locks or micro locks is not going to look the same as somebody's sister locks or micro locks, you know, 5 years from now. So just make sure that you keep that in mind when you are, you know, deciding how you want to start your locks, the method in which you want to start your locks, because it's still, everything is still going to come out different. Now, I don't want to say that to discourage you, because it is good to have, you know, inspiration, draw inspiration from people like me, and people, you know, that are on Instagram or people that are on YouTube with locks. It's very, very good to draw inspiration from somebody, and also, you know, gain that knowledge from someone, because I know I literally spent months soaking up knowledge online about locks, what type of locks that I wanted, what was my end goal, you know, what was going to work best for my hair texture. So there are a lot more things to keep in mind than what people really think before they start their journey. So just make sure that you keep that in mind. No matter the lock method that you choose, none is better than the other. It's really just what fits you and what fits your personality and what your end goal looks like for yourself. So just make sure to, you know, take the time to do the research. Take the time to think about it, meditate on it, sleep on it, pray on it, do whatever you have to do, because, you know, you could go backwards, but it's going to be a lot more work. You know what I'm saying? So you could always, you know, comb them out and start over. But if you are really passionate about starting your lock journey, then you definitely want to take the time to, you know, learn more about all of the methods. Okay, so that about wraps up this video. If I missed any methods of locks, how to start locks, other than these 7, then please drop them down in the comments, because I would love to hear about them, because to my knowledge, that's pretty much all I got. That's pretty much all I know of. So if you know of any other methods of starting locks or starting a lock journey, then please make sure you leave them down in the comments below. I would love to have a conversation with you about them. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Do not forget to leave me a comment down below, and also do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your post bell notifications so that you'll be notified every time I post a new lock video, or, you know, lifestyle content or anything like that. And also do not forget to follow me on Instagram at _Kee Samone. There is where I post, you know, normal day-to-day stuff. So if you want to feel and get a little bit more connected with me, then make sure that you go and follow me on Instagram. And yes, I will just see you all in the next video.